Hello friends, good afternoon, welcome to Chandu Biology classes. So, we are discussing modern Indian history. So, that is a part of paper 1 when it comes to JL DL exam. Okay. Now, when it comes to modern Indian history, already we have done a topic, that is the beginning of modern history. I told you that marked the beginning of Indian history, that is nothing but not Indian history per se, part of Indian history, that is modern history, that is advent of Europeans. We did the topic in the previous class. Okay. That marked the beginning of modern Indian history. Okay. It differentiated between the modern Indian history and the medieval Indian history, that is nothing but the decline of the Mughals. Now, when we talk about the modern Indian history, okay, I told you there was advent of Europeans. Okay, like we saw, there was a need for alternative route through sea route. Already there was a land route and also sea route through Mediterranean Sea and also what it is Red Sea. But there was a need for alternate sea route, which led to the invention of India, that is discovery of India by Vasco da Gama in 1498, and that was the first time, that was the time, that is first advent of Europeans, that is beginning of the Portugal invasion. Later it was followed by whom? It was followed by whom? Portuguese, then it was Dutch, then it was English, then Danes and also French. So, ultimately it was the British that were successful. Now, the British, after eliminating all the enemies, they wanted to consolidate their position in India. Okay, they came for economic gains. Later they started involving in administrative matter also, and they started making rules for the administration also, and slowly and gradually they started gaining control over India. So, the economic affairs turned into political affairs, and later they started ruling over entire India. Okay. Later the company itself was taken over by the British Crown, and the British Crown directly started ruling over India. So, this is what happened, right. Now, when we talk about the British conquest in India, the most important thing that we have to remember is the topmost positions held by the Britishers in India. Okay. As of now, the topmost positions held in India, that is the President of India, be it Vice President, the Prime Minister of India. At that time, the people who were ruling India, that time there was also a topmost positions. That positions are called as what? Governors, Governor Generals, okay, Viceroys, all these things. So, let us study about the Viceroys, Governor Generals and Viceroys of India, because they are the topmost positions held by the British officers who are ruling over India. So, let us learn who are the Governor Generals and Viceroys of India, okay, and who are the important Governor Generals and Viceroys of India, what were the important works undertaken by them, okay, how it was beneficial to India and how it was against India. Okay. Some of the works were even beneficial to India, but most of the work was against India. Okay. Like they had an war against the Marathas, against Mysore, okay, against Sikhs, against so many other sections of the Indian society. Okay. So, it was majorly it was against our rule, the decisions taken by Governor Generals and Viceroys, but some of the decisions taken by them were in the step in the right direction, be it for social reforms, be it educational reforms, all these things. So, let us have a look at this one, but before that I would like to inform you about our upcoming course, that is about the TSPSC, TGPSC or TSPSC, whatever it is, TGPSC PGT course, okay, TGPSC PGT course, which is starting from, as you can see, TGPSC PGT course, be it for Biosciences paper 3 and also General Studies paper 1. Okay. New batch is starting from 1st August. New batch is starting from 1st August. Okay. And for more details, you can contact on this number 861-830, okay, 1827, 861-830-1827, or you can visit our Narayanguda branch, okay, that is in Hyderabad. Next, coming to TGPSC JL and DL, okay, here also till now we were providing only core paper, that is be it botany or zoology, but this time we are providing even the general studies paper based on the demand of the students. Okay, even study materials, everything will be provided. Okay, the new batch is starting from 1st August. Okay, new batch is starting from 1st August 2025. Okay, that is in just a matter of few days. So, please enroll and start preparing with us with more confidence and clarity. Okay. For this you can contact on the same number, that is 861-830-1827, or you can visit our this branch, that is Narayanguda, Hyderabad. Okay. This is about our TGPSC JL and DL, and this series which we are doing for general studies, it is the same content or the same syllabus that is there for PGT also. So, those who are aspiring for PGT, please go through our videos and attend our live sessions also. Okay. That will be immensely helpful for you. So, please stay tuned for general studies classes which are coming up daily. Okay. Now, let us start with our discussion on modern Indian history, and particularly our discussion on Governor Generals and Viceroys of India, which is the subject topic of today, that is Governor Generals and Viceroy of India. So, first of all, let us see some introduction, that is why was the need for Governor Generals and Viceroys of India, all these things are let us discuss. So, okay, first of all in the introduction we have to understand that there is something called Governor Generals of Bengal. Okay. First we have to discuss, when I talk about Governor Generals of India, directly there was nothing called Governor Generals of India. Earlier there was something called Governor Generals of Bengal, then it became Governor Generals of India. But before Governor Generals of Bengal, there was another important post, okay, that is nothing but Governor of Bengal. Okay. So, first East India Company controlled Bengal through Governor of Bengal. Okay. First Governor of Bengal was Robert Clive. Okay. First Governor of Bengal was Robert Clive. See, focus here, look at the screen. First there was something called Governor. This was called just a governor. Later it became Governor of what? Governor of Bengal. Later it became what? It was changed to, the name was changed to Governor General of what? Governor General of Bengal. Governor of Bengal, Governor General of Bengal. Governor of Bengal was changed to Governor General of Bengal. Later this Governor General of Bengal itself was changed to Governor General of India. Governor General of what? Governor General of India. Okay. Governor of Bengal, this post itself of Governor General of Bengal, this post itself was changed to Governor General of India. Later we have another post, that is Viceroy of India. Later the post of Governor General of India was changed to Viceroy of India. You have to understand this. So, at that time if you see the Indian map, okay, draw a rough map. Okay, rough map, if I draw like this, if you can have a look at this part and this part and this part, okay, even Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Goa, Kerala, okay, they had only 3 presidencies, that is 3 presidencies we had, okay, and this presidency, okay, this presidency was called Bengal Presidency. This is called Bengal Presidency. Bengal means, it does not mean it is including only present day Bengal, it was including Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Orissa, all these things. Okay, Bihar, Orissa, all these things it was including. So, that was called as what? Bengal Presidency. There were 3 presidencies. Now, this is what? This is Bombay. Earlier it was called Bombay. Now, we call it as Mumbai. Earlier it was called as what? Bombay. This is Bombay Presidency. And this is what? This is Madras Presidency. This is what? Madras Presidency. Now, we call it as Chennai. So, Chennai is a capital town of Tamil Nadu. But Madras Presidency means it is not just including city Madras. It is including entire region was called as Madras Presidency. So, this is Madras Presidency. Okay. Now, if you can observe, I told you there was Governor of Bengal. Okay. Please focus on the board first, I will explain. There was called something called Governor of Bengal. There was Governor for Bengal and there was Governor of Bombay and there was Governor of Madras. What happened is, okay, when these presidencies were also formed, this Governor of Bengal was made Governor General of Bengal. Okay. Governor General of Bengal was made, and these governors were not made independent governors, they were all made subordinate to this Governor General of Bengal. That means what? Governor General of Bengal will be the highest post, under him there will be Governor of Madras and also Governor of Bombay. Okay. As per his directions they have to work. They are still governor, but this is Governor General of Bengal. He is made, earlier they were like this, same position. Now, Governor of Bengal was made Governor General of Bengal. Okay. He has given topmost position. Later it was made what? Other posts, that is Governor of Bengal, Governor of Madras and Governor of Bombay was made subordinate. Subordinate means made them below the rank of Governor General of Bengal. That means what the directions Governor General of Bengal gives, they have to listen. Okay. First of all, we have to understand what is Governor of Bengal. Governor of Bengal, the person that was there is, first Governor of Bengal was Robert Clive. These who? Robert Clive. Robert Clive. Okay, I told you East India Company came, they set up their first factory at Surat, all these things we learnt. Okay, what the company did was, after gaining control over administration, okay, this Governor of Bengal, first person, this is Robert Clive, he introduced dual rule. Dual rule. Dual rule is, that is one section will look after the administration, okay, another section will look after revenue. Another section we looked after revenue. That is, the Governor of Bengal divided the rule, entire rule into 2 things. One is administration, another one is revenue. Revenue means you go to the Indians and collect the taxes, okay, and collect the taxes. It was made a two separate departments. Administration is separate and revenue collection is separate. It was made a two separate departments. Okay. So this is revenue collections was made separate. So this is nothing but the dual rule. This is nothing but what? Dual rule. Who introduced dual rule in Bengal? Suppose they ask a question, who introduced dual rule in Bengal? It is Robert Clive. It is who? Robert Clive. Who is the first governor of Bengal? That is also Robert Clive. Who is the first governor of Bengal? Robert Clive. Who introduced dual rule in Bengal? It is Robert Clive itself. Okay. Next, you have to remember another 4 more governors of Bengal. Before Governor of Bengal was changed into Governor General of Bengal, apart from Robert Clive, there were 4 more governors of Bengal. Okay. They are Holwell, Henry, okay, Harry and John Cartier. No need to remember the full name. Okay, because yours is multiple choice question. Why you have to remember? Okay. Holwell, Harry, okay, Henry, Holwell, Henry, Harry and John Cartier. Okay, John Cartier, Holwell, Henry, Harry, Holwell, Henry, Harry, that is triple H, and John Cartier. Okay, triple H and John Cena, remember. Okay, triple H and John Cena, that is Holwell, Henry, Harry and John Cartier. Okay, Holwell, Henry, Harry and John Cartier. These are the 4 governors of Bengal. Earlier it was Robert Clive. After him there were 4 people. Okay, later this governor of Bengal, this post was changed to Governor General of Bengal. To change that, you have to pass some act. You have to pass some act. Directly you cannot change. What is that act? We will understand. That is through the Regulating Act. Okay, Regulating Act of 1773. Regulation means on the company there are setting some rules and regulations. You are regulating how the company is functioning. So for that they passed an act that is called Regulating Act of 1773. Okay, Regulating Act of 1773. This was the first act passed by the British. Okay, in India. The post was converted to which post? The Governor of Bengal. The Governor of Bengal was changed into Governor General of Bengal. Okay, it was changed into what? Governor General of Bengal. Okay. So first Governor of Bengal is who? Robert Clive. Similarly, the post of Governor was changed into Governor General of Bengal. So if they ask who is the first Governor General of Bengal, it is Warren Hastings. Okay, very important personality, they were asked in multiple exams. Okay, first Governor General of Bengal is who? I am stressing again and again. Later Governor General of India will come, that is totally different. Okay, it is what? Governor General of Bengal. If they ask first Governor General of Bengal, it is Warren Hastings. Who it is? Warren Hastings. Okay, Regulating Act of 1773 changed the post of Governor of Bengal to Governor General of Bengal. Who is that first Governor General of Bengal? It is Warren Hastings. Clear? Next thing. So this also said that various other things it said. When I talk about constitutional developments during British rule, or be it in history or in polity, I will explain what is Regulating Act, what is Pitt-Sindhi Act, all these things. Okay. Another thing it said was a Supreme Court should be set up at what? Calcutta. It also said a Supreme Court should be set up at Calcutta. Like that, various reforms it said. Most important thing is it converted the post of Governor of Bengal to Governor General of Bengal, and first person is Warren Hastings. Now, I told you he is the first Governor General of Bengal, then he is a very important personality. Okay, Robert Clive introduced dual rule. What he did was, dual rule is nothing but, it is also called diarchy. Okay, diarchy, di means two, archy. Okay, 2 types of rule. So the diarchy means dual rule means one rule for administration, another rule for revenue. So what he did was, this diarchy he ended. Who? Warren Hastings. What he made was, administration and revenue should be handled as a single thing. Administration and revenue should be handled as a single thing. If there is proper administration, revenue collection is easy. If there is proper revenue collection and managing administration is easy. That is what he felt. So he ended diarchy in Bengal. Diarchy means what? That is the double rule or dual rule was introduced by whom? Robert Clive. Okay, Robert Clive introduced dual rule in Bengal. This was ended by whom? Warren Hastings. That is, he ended diarchy in Bengal. That's why I told you who introduced diarchy in Bengal, or double rule or dual rule was introduced by whom? Robert Clive. That was ended by whom? Warren Hastings. So suppose this is rule, this was made double by RC, Robert Clive. This was made into single by Warren Hastings. That's it, understood? This was made into dual rule by Robert Clive. It was clubbed and made as single rule by Warren Hastings. Okay, treasury was shifted to Calcutta. Earlier treasury was in Delhi, that places. Okay, Mughal Empire. Okay, Mughal Empire had the very important position in Delhi. Okay, treasury was also in Delhi. So he shifted treasury from Delhi to Calcutta. Okay, everything when you talk about East India Company, they are not focusing on Delhi, they are focusing, but highest importance they gave for Calcutta. Okay, they told what Supreme Court also should be in Calcutta. Treasury should be shifted to what? Calcutta. Who shifted? Warren Hastings shifted to Calcutta. Company took over revenue collection. Okay, see here, earlier it was administration was done by the company, revenue collection was not with the company. Now administration also, revenue collection also was done by the company itself. So company took over the revenue collection, that is it ended the diarchy. Now in 1774, like I told you, under Regulating Act of 1773, it was told that a Supreme Court should be set up where? Set up at Calcutta, and Treasury should be shifted to where? Calcutta. So accordingly in 1774, Supreme Court was established in Calcutta. Supreme Court was established where? In Calcutta. Yeah, Supreme Court was established in Calcutta. Okay, 1784 under his rule only. Now what we are learning? Warren Hastings. This is not about the Regulating Act. We are learning about Governor Generals. Under them, excuse me, what are the important events that took place? That we are learning. So under him, Supreme Court was established in Calcutta. Next is under him only, see, 1774 to 1785. Okay, under him only there was Pitt's India Act that was passed. Pitt's India Act that was passed. Okay, when I talk about Pitt's India Act, you have to understand that Pitt's India Act was passed. Okay, Regulating Act at certain loopholes. Regulating Act at certain loopholes or limitations. To correct that, Pitt's India Act was passed. Pitt's India Act was passed to correct loopholes of Regulating Act of 1973. Not 1973 or 1873? 1783, correct? No, 1773. Sorry, this is. It is Regulating Act of 1773, not 19. That looked like 9. That's it. Okay. So 1773. Next, you have to remember first Rohilla War, first Maratha War. Okay. Treaty of Salbai, second Mysore War was fought under him. So out of this, you have to remember one thing, that is Treaty of Salbai. Treaty of Salbai, I will discuss on separate class. Important treaties we will discuss. But you have to remember, Treaty of Salbai was signed during the tenure of Warren Hastings. Okay. First Maratha War, Warren Hastings. Second Mysore War. Okay. Second Mysore War is Warren Hastings. So you have to remember Rohilla War, you forget, not a problem. When you talk about Maratha War, first Maratha War. Okay. And also Treaty of Salbai. First Maratha War led to Treaty of Salbai. First Maratha War, what is the result? Treaty of Salbai. Next is second Mysore War. Okay. With Marathas, first war. With Mysore, this is the second war. First war was fought by someone else. Leave it. Okay. First war was someone else. Leave it. Second Mysore War, Warren Hastings. This you remember. Okay. These are the things you have to remember when it comes to Warren Hastings. Clear? Okay, done. Let us move to the next one now. Now it is Lord Cornwallis. That is after Warren Hastings. Who is that important person? If you talk about, it is Lord Cornwallis. Okay. Okay. Lord Cornwallis, 1786 to 1793. Okay. What are the important things that took place? Okay. Second Mysore War, Warren Hastings. Third Mysore War, Cornwallis. Okay. Third Mysore War, Cornwallis. Under him, there was another important treaty. Okay. I told you, Warren Hastings, Treaty of Salbai. Okay. First Maratha War, Treaty of Salbai, and second Mysore War. This person immediately third Mysore War. Okay. Out of the third Mysore War, Treaty of Srirangapatnam. Okay. Treaty of Srirangapatnam. Treaty of Srirangapatnam was output of third Mysore War. Under whom? Lord Cornwallis. Cornwallis Code and Civil Services introduced. Okay. Understand one thing. Third Mysore War. Third Mysore War resulted in what? Treaty of Srirangapatnam. Next, Cornwallis Code was put forward by Cornwallis. Okay. This code was for judicial reforms. Mainly judicial and police also. You can remember judicial reforms. Cornwallis Code. Cornwallis Code means you should understand, it is nothing but set of rules. Code of conduct. Okay. Cornwallis Code. Okay. It put forward a code for judicial reforms. Okay. Judicial reforms. It put forward a code, that is judicial reforms. Okay. That is nothing but Cornwallis Code. Now when we talk about civil services introduced. Okay. You can see a lot of IAS, IPS officers around. That was introduced by Lord Cornwallis. Okay. In Charter Act of 1854, that was accepted. Okay. Even for Indians. Okay. But it was materialized, that is it was actually brought into reality by Lord Cornwallis. That is why he is also called father of civil service in India. If they ask, who is the father of civil services in India? That is Lord Cornwallis. Who is the father of civil services in India? It is Lord Cornwallis. Clear? Who is the father of civil services in India? If they ask, it is Lord Cornwallis. Okay. 1793, under him there was permanent land settlement. This was a permanent, one of the type of land revenue system. Okay, land revenue system. See, people are having land. From that land, how to collect the revenue? For that, there were various techniques. That is, one is permanent settlement in Bengal. Permanent settlement in Bengal was introduced by 1793 by whom? Cornwallis. So, Cornwallis, you have to remember why? For third Mysore War, Treaty of Srirangapatnam, and also Cornwallis Code, and also civil services is introduced. He is also called father of civil services in India. Okay, when we talk about permanent settlement, okay, permanent land settlement in Bengal, it was introduced by whom? Cornwallis. So, if I talk about land revenue system, that is how you collect revenue for the produce that you are growing on the run. That is for the pola, for our pola, what is the produce that we are getting? Understood? Okay, how to take tax for that? There are various systems. One is that was introduced was permanent settlement, permanent land settlement or permanent settlement in Bengal. Okay, this was introduced by Cornwallis. Next we have Mahalwari system. Mahalwari system. Okay, here permanent settlement system, the zamindars will collect the revenue, they will keep something, then they will give to the British. In Mahalwari system, each Mahal means village. Each village will collect the taxes from the farmers, and the village headman, that is the Mahal means village, the village headman will give to the British. That is Mahalwari system. Next is Rohitwari system. It was introduced by Thomas Munro. Okay, Rohitwari system I will explain. It was introduced by Thomas Munro. This will come in the upcoming slides. Rohitwari system, what happens is, this Rohitwari means, Rohit means farmer, Rayats means it is farmer, Right means farmers. Okay, so you have to understand that Rohitwari system, the British collected the revenue directly from the farmers. The farmers gave the taxes directly to the British. They went and gave. No middleman. Middleman means they will keep some commission, all these things. So here it is Rohitwari system. Okay. Next thing we will understand this. This is about Lord Cornwallis. Next, after him there was one important person, that is Sir John Shore. Okay. First Charter Act, but you have to remember most importantly Battle of Karda. Battle of Karda was fought between whom and whom. You have to comment. Okay, you have to go through you search whatever you want. Battle of Karda was fought between whom and whom. You have to put it in the comment section. But when it comes to Sir John Shore, it is Battle of Karda. Sir John Shore is who? It is Battle of Karda. Please remember this. Okay, under John Shore it was Battle of Karda. Next is this factual. Some things you have to remember. Some things are important. Next is Lord Wellesley, very important personality. Like Warren Hastings, like Lord Cornwallis, Sir John Shore is not that important. But when it comes to Lord Wellesley, is very important personality. 1798 to 1805. 1798 to 1805. Okay, he introduced one system that is called subsidiary alliance system. Subsidiary alliance system. So what is this subsidiary alliance system? So suppose, observe here, suppose there is a kingdom. There is a kingdom here. This is kingdom 1. This is kingdom 2. Okay. Now understand one thing. This kingdom has some territory. Correct? No, this will have some border. In this border, what will happen is there will be soldiers to protect this kingdom. Correct? No, like how we have at the border of a country, like this, we have soldiers here. Okay. Under the subsidiary alliance system, these soldiers will be the British soldiers. That is, the British Indian soldiers or British soldiers, whatever it is. The British soldiers, they will give protection. They will give what? Protection. To whom? The king. To whom? The king. The British soldiers. Okay, British soldiers. They will give protection to the king. Simply they won't, in return, this person, kingdom, this king has to give what? Revenue to British. Revenue to British. This army is called standing army. Standing army. That is, they will be there always. Standing army means not that they are standing always. They will be there always at the border. Okay. So that is the meaning of standing army. The British standing army will be protecting the kingdom, but in return they have to give the revenue, and there will be another British agent that will be staying in the kingdom. British agent will stay in the kingdom. British agent will stay in the kingdom. Okay, what is the role of this British agent? just collect the revenue and give. That is the only thing. He should not involve in the internal affairs of the kingdom. With respect to administration and all, you should not involve. Who? The British agent. The problem was this British agent was very much involving. He used to involve a lot in the internal administration of the kingdom. Okay, you wanted to make the kingdom weak from inside and make sure that British acquire that kingdom. That was his major goal. Okay, but another thing was this kingdom, after entering into subsidiary alliance, the important thing is, suppose this king or someone from the kingdom, or this king, if he has to interact with kingdom 2, another kingdom or another king with respect to anything, they have to take the permission from the British. They cannot independently do that. They cannot independently interact with them. That is, they have lost the power. This is nothing but what? This is nothing but colonizing this kingdom. They are providing defense, means they are only providing security, but in return of them they are taking money, and these people are not allowed to interact with another kingdom. Okay, they are nothing but they are put in a prison. Correct? No, this is nothing but subsidiary alliance. Understood? This entire thing is what? Subsidiary alliance. This is subsidiary alliance. First alliance with Nizam of Hyderabad. So similarly, under this subsidiary alliance, first state or province to come under subsidiary alliance is our Hyderabad. That is Nizam of Hyderabad. That is Nizams of Hyderabad. Okay, they were the first people to come under the subsidiary alliance. They will ask, which of the following was the first to come under subsidiary alliance? It is Hyderabad. Okay, please remember it. It is what? It is Hyderabad. Next, Lord Wellesley, under him there is 4th Mysore War, under which Tipu Sultan is captured and killed also. Okay, Tipu Sultan is a ruler from Mysore. Okay, Tipu is 4th Mysore War. So I told you, 2nd Mysore War, Warren Hastings. Second Mysore War is Warren Hastings. Next, coming to 1st Maratha War is Warren Hastings under that Treaty of Salbai. Next is what? Next is 3rd Mysore War. 3rd Mysore War, it is Lord Cornwallis, it is Treaty of Srirangapatnam. Next, John Shore, Battle of Karda. But when it comes to Lord Wellesley, it is 4th Mysore War, 1799. Okay, then there is also 2nd Maratha War. 1st Maratha War is Warren Hastings. 2nd Maratha War is Wellesley. W remember. First W is 1st Maratha War. 2nd W is Wellesley is 2nd Maratha War. Under this there was Treaty of Bassein. Treaty of Bassein. I will explain when we talk about the treaties. What were the output of the treaties? Okay, I will explain. When we talk about, till now how many treaties we learned? 3 treaties. Treaty of Salbai. I mean, we mentioned, not learned. We have not, don't know what is the treaty talking about. We learn about it when we talk about the treaties as a separate concept or a separate topic. So Treaty of Salbai we learned. Okay, Treaty of Srirangapatnam and Treaty of Bassein. This is 2nd Maratha War. And Madras Presidency was formed in 1801. That is, under Lord Wellesley, Madras Presidency was formed under 1801. When Madras Presidency, I was talking about one important fort that was formed, Fort St. George. Fort St. George was found in Madras. Okay, in the previous class I told you. Correct? No, Fort St. George. Another treaty we discussed in the previous class, that is Treaty of Tordesillas, that is between Spain and Portugal. Okay, in the previous class of history, when we talk about advent of Europeans, there we discussed that one important treaty, that is Treaty of Tordesillas, that is between Spain and Portugal. Correct? Next thing is, this is about Lord Wellesley. Most important thing you have to remember is subsidiary alliance by whom? Lord Wellesley. They can give match the following questions. Okay, Cornwallis Court by Lord Cornwallis, you will know. Okay, similarly, if they ask permanent settlement, Cornwallis, subsidiary alliance, Wellesley. Okay, please remember. Okay, next thing is Sir George Burlow. Okay, Sipai Mutiny of Vellore, very important. Okay, this person is not important, this event is important. Sipai Mutiny of Vellore, Vellore is near to us. Okay, Sipai Mutiny of Vellore. Okay, it was fought under whom's rule? Okay, during whose rule? They will ask, it is Sir George Burlow. Okay, Sipai Mutiny of Vellore. Under whom? George Burlow. Okay, George Burlow, Sipai Mutiny of Vellore. Okay, Sipai Mutiny of Vellore 1806. Sipai Mutiny of Vellore 1806, Sir George Burlow. Okay, that is the person that was there. Next thing is Lord Minto I. Okay, 1807 to 1813. Another Minto will come after 1900s. This is Lord Minto I. Another Minto II will come. That is different. This is Lord Minto I. Mission to Persia and Kabul. Okay, mission to Persia and Kabul. That is not important for us. Lord Minto I. But he had a treaty of Amritsar with Ranjit Singh. This is important for us. Lord Minto I, Treaty of Amritsar with Ranjit Singh. He was a Sikh king. Okay, king of the Sikhs. That is Treaty of Amritsar with Ranjit Singh. Who? Lord Minto I. Lord Minto I was having a treaty of Amritsar with whom? With Ranjit Singh. With whom? It is with Ranjit Singh. Next, Francis Rawdon Hastings. Okay, that time we learnt is Warren Hastings. This is another person, Francis Rawdon Hastings, not so much important. Okay, some governor generals and viceroys are important. Some are we are learning because of the chronology. That's it. Other than that, that is nothing much to have to remember. Okay, so when you talk about Francis Rawdon Hastings, most important thing is you have to remember Treaty of Sagoli. Treaty of Sagoli. Another thing is Anglo-Nepalese War, that is not important. Third Anglo-Maratha War is important. Okay, Bombay Presidency was created. This is also important. Understand one thing. Francis Rawdon Hastings, Warren Hastings, first Maratha War. Wellesley, another W is second Maratha War. Another W is Rawdon Hastings. Okay, Rawdon Hastings is, Warren Hastings is different. This is another Hastings is, it is talking about third Maratha War. Okay, it is also talking about Treaty of Sagoli. Treaty of Sagoli is important, and Bombay Presidency. Madras Presidency was Wellesley. Okay, first of all you have to understand, if you ask the formation and chronology, first was Bengal Presidency, then is Madras, then is Bombay, BMB. Okay, BMB, that is the order you have to remember. When you talk about Madras, it is Wellesley. When you talk about Bombay, it is, Bombay is who? It is, who is that person? Francis Rawdon Hastings. Francis Rawdon Hastings is Bombay Presidency. Rohitwari system introduced by Thomas Munro. During his rule only, there was something called Rohitwari system. I told you, rights, they will be the directly giving the revenue directly. Who introduced that? Thomas Munro. You have to remember the name. Thomas Munro introduced what? Rohitwari system. Clear? So let us proceed further. Next thing is Governor Generals of India. Till now we were looking about, till now we learned something called Governors of Bengal. Later we learned Governor Generals of Bengal. I told you in the beginning itself, the governor post will change into Governor General of Bengal. Later it will change to Governor General of India. Later to Viceroy of India. Till now we learned Governors of Bengal and also Governor Generals of Bengal. Now let us have a look at Governor Generals of India. What is this post? How did it come into being? All these things we have to learn. So first, most important thing is Charter Act of 1833. Which act changed the Governor of Bengal into Governor General of India? It is Charter Act of 1833. This you have to remember, most important. Okay, they was multiple times in the examination. That is, if they ask what it is, which act changed the position of Governor of General of Bengal to Governor General of India? It is Charter Act of 1833. Okay, Charter Act of 1833. The Governor General of Bengal became what? Governor General of India. First Governor General of India is Lord William Bentinck. Sir, Lord William Bentinck. Okay, so first Governor of Bengal, it is Robert Clive. First Governor General of Bengal, Warren Hastings. So first Governor General of India, it is Sir Lord William Bentinck. Sir Lord William Bentinck. This is the important thing. Next, let us see. I am talking about Governor Generals of Bengal. Sorry, Governor Generals of India. When you talk about Governor Generals of India, it is Charter Act that changed the position of Governor General of Bengal to Governor General of India. So when we talk about that, first Governor General of India is who? Sir Lord William Bentinck. So let us discuss some important events or important things about related to what? Sir Lord William Bentinck. Sir Lord William Bentinck, okay, 1828 to 1835, abolition of sati, most important. He along with Rajaram Mohan Rai, he had a forward looking. Okay, who? Modern ideas. He was a reformist. Who? Rajaram Mohan Rai and also Lord William Bentinck. When I talk about social religious reform movement, again this person comes into being, comes in our discussion. Who? This is abolition of sati. Sati means one of the social evils that was prevailing. Okay, husband dies means, and that funeral pyre, that fire, who the female also had to go and fall. That is the meaning of sati. That was abolished by Sir Lord William Bentinck. Okay, now after that there was annexation of Mysore. By whom? Lord William Bentinck. Under whom? Lord William Bentinck. There was annexation of Mysore, Coorg and also Central Kachar. Annexation of Mysore, Coorg and also Central Kachar. Okay. So Lord William Bentinck, three places are important: Mysore, Coorg, and Central Kachar. Mysore, Coorg and Central Kachar. Macaulay is minute. Macaulay is another person. Okay. He gave a minutes means after discussion with Lord William Bentinck, he put forward some minutes. Minutes means the summary of the discussion. Macaulay's minutes is based on what? It is based on education. It is related to education. English was made official language. So understand one thing, they can ask a question, which of the Macaulay's minutes is related to which of the following? Defense. Okay, they can give revenue, C police, or D education. The answer is what? Education. Okay, what did he talk about education Macaulay? He said that English should be an official language at all the levels, be it lower level or higher level. Okay, they wanted to do Europeanization of the Indian education. Clear? That was Macaulay's dream. Okay, so Macaulay's minutes is under Lord William Bentinck, but Macaulay was a person who provided minutes on what? Education system. Next is Charles Mutcliffe to Dalhousie. Next we will learn some Governor Generals as a sequence, that is Charles Mutcliffe to Dalhousie. What are the important things that happened? So, Press law was passed, first Afghan war, Sindh next, first Anglo-Sikh war. Nothing is important for us, just I am telling. Next thing is Dalhousie. Dalhousie is second Anglo-Sikh war was passed, Punjab was annexed. This is important. Punjab was annexed during whom? Dalhousie. Okay. Railways, Woods Dispatch. So, under Dalhousie, Punjab was annexed. One thing is it is against India, Punjab was annexed. But most important reforms he brought was reforms in railways. Railways was introduced. Okay. 1853, the first train from Bombay to Thane started moving. Okay. Under whom? Lord Dalhousie. Okay. Lord Dalhousie. Another thing is Woods Dispatch. Woods Dispatch is, this is also based on reform on education. Okay. Macaulay's minded education. Woods Dispatch education. Okay. Woods is a person's name. Woods Dispatch means he put forward some reforms. Okay. Where he said that English need not be the official language at all the levels. At the lower levels, let the vernacular language. Vernacular language means what? The local or native language. Let it be there. But at the higher courses, let English be also there. Okay. Let English be the official language only at the higher level. At the lower levels, let vernacular language. Vernacular means the local or the native language. For us, it is what? Telugu. Like that. Okay. That was the decision of Woods Dispatch, and it was fairly successful. Then under Dalhousie, there was also Widow Remarriage Act 1856. There was also called Widow Remarriage Act. Okay. But most important thing you have to remember about Dalhousie is it is doctrine of lapse. Doctrine of lapse. Okay. So when I talk about this thing, when I talk about see here doctrine of lapse, why I am talking is, see here, till now we learnt one thing, what? Permanent settlement. Who it is? Lord Cornwallis. Lord Wellesley, subsidiary system. Roythwary system, Thomas Munro. Similarly, doctrine of lapse is also very important thing. So you have to understand one thing. Doctrine of lapse means what? Suppose there is a kingdom. Observe very carefully. There is a kingdom. That king has no natural heir. That is, heir means it is son. Okay. If his son or daughter, doesn't matter. Natural heir means not born to that person. If it is adopted or something, if they don't have an own son, natural heir means what happens is that kingdom will not be allowed to be continued by the king or the person who sets, or if he is adopted, if he has an adopted son or something like that, he cannot rule that kingdom. Okay, that time what will happen is that entire kingdom will be taken over by the British. That is the meaning of doctrine of lapse. The kingdom itself will lapse. It will go into the British hand. Okay, that is the meaning of doctrine of lapse. Under this, so many kingdoms were annexed by the British. Okay, under this, so many kingdoms were annexed by the British. So, for example, are Satara, Jhansi, Sambalpur, Satara, Jhansi, Sambalpur, Udaipur, etc. These are the kingdoms. Okay, these are the kingdoms. So, doctrine of lapse, if the king does not have an own son, okay, if he is having an adopted son or daughter or something like that, the entire kingdom will go to the British. He cannot be having the hold over that kingdom. Okay. So, this is the kingdoms that were annexed under this thing. Okay. But you have to understand there was another kingdom called Awadh. Awadh means it is a present day Uttar Pradesh region, Awadh province. Okay. This kingdom was annexed by the British on the grounds of what? Grounds of, here they could not apply doctrine of lapse, but they applied some other thing and they got this kingdom on the grounds of what? On the grounds of misgovernance. Actually there was no misgovernance, but they cited misgovernance. They had to give some reason to annex the kingdom, because at that time their policy was aggressive annexation policy. Okay. So at that time they had to give some reason. So if they ask a question, which of the following kingdoms was annexed on the grounds of misgovernance, it is Awadh. Okay. Which of the following kingdoms was annexed on the grounds of misgovernance, it is Awadh. So please remember. Okay. Got it? Right. Let us proceed. Next is very important, Lord Canning I told you certain people are very important: Robert Clive, Warren Hastings, Lord Cornwallis, Lord Wellesley, okay, John Shore, Barlow, and also who are the other people? Lord William Bentinck, Lord Dalhousie, they are very important. Like that, Lord Canning is also very important. See, there was what it is, 1857 revolt, first war of Indian independence, it is also called. Okay, post that, what happened was, is post 1857 revolt, what happened was, these people, the people of British started to be making sensitive policies towards India, because they didn't want another backlash from India. That is, they didn't want to fight against India again. Already they had fought in very important revolt with India. That is, under 1857 revolt, they have to defend themselves, the British. So they wanted to make some policies which are sensitive to India. So they shifted the power from the company. That is, the power shifted from the company to the crown. That is, they passed an act after 1857 revolt. Okay, under 1857, who was the Governor General of India during 1857 revolt? It is Lord Canning. If they ask a question, who was the Governor General of India during 1857 revolt? It is Lord Canning. Please remember. Next thing is, if they ask, 1858 Government of India Act was passed. After 1857 revolt, I told they have to make some reforms within the governance of the British itself. So because of that, they passed an act that is called Government of India Act 1858. Okay, Government of India Act 1858. The most important thing that happened was, power shifted from the company. Which company? East India Company, to the British Crown. That is, British government, that British Parliament directly started ruling over India. Until now, who was ruling? The British Crown was helping, but British East India Company was ruling over this. But because of the 1857 revolt, they felt that the company is not powerful to rule over India. They put an end to the company's rule, and the British Crown itself directly started involving in the administration of India. Okay. Now what happened was, universities were set up at Calcutta, Bombay and Madras. That is, at all the presidencies, what happened? Universities were set up, okay, which were Calcutta, that is in Bengal presidency, Bombay and also Madras. Okay. This Government of India 1858 also changed the position. I told you, there will be governor, later it will become Governor General of Bengal, then it will become Governor General of India, later it will become Viceroy. This Government of India 1858 changed the position of the Government of India 1858 changed the position of Governor General of India to Viceroy of India. To which position? This is Viceroy of India. Till now we learned Governor General of India, that is Lord Canning. So if they ask a question, who is the last Governor General of India? It is Canning. Who is the first Viceroy of India? Canning, he itself. Last and also first. First Viceroy of India, Lord Canning. Last Governor General of India, Lord Canning. If they ask first Viceroy of India, Lord Canning itself. Okay, very important. So the revolt of 1857 that took place, or Sipahi Mutiny, first war of Indian independence, took place. Who was the Governor General of India? If they ask, it is Lord Canning. Who was the Viceroy of India? If asked, it is Lord Canning. So Lord referring to Lord Linlithgow. Okay, while I was talking about Constituent Assembly, I discussed about August offer. There I told it is also called as Linlithgow offer. Okay, so Lord referring to Lord Linlithgow. So what are the important events that took place? So Indian National Congress was founded in 1885. That was founded in Bombay. Okay, 28 December, Bombay it was founded. Okay, with the help of A.O. Hume. With the help of A.O. Hume. Okay, first session was held at Bombay itself. And who was the president of that session? That is called, it is W.C. Banerjee. W.C. Banerjee was the first president. Okay, president. Founder is A.O. Hume. President is W.C. Banerjee. He was an old man, so they gave the position. Okay. Next, Factory Act was passed. Durand Line Commission. Durand Line. Okay, you have to understand, Durand Line is between whom? Okay, Durand Line Commission is between whom? So we know that when we talk about borders, okay, when we talk about borders, border area, so we have, right? So here we have something called here we have some Pakistan. This is here we have China. Here we have a little bit of Afghanistan. So here this line between India, this is Pak, this is Afghanistan. Okay, this is between India and Pakistan. This line is called as what? Radcliffe line. This border, okay, this is called Radcliffe line. Between India and Pakistan, it is called as what? Radcliffe Line. Between India and China, it is called McMahon Line. It is called as what? McMahon Line. This India and Afghanistan, it is called as what? Durand Line. That is what we are discussing. Durand Line. Okay. So during Lord of Rain, there was Durand Line Commission to decide the border between India and Afghanistan. Durand Line. Okay. Partition of Bengal, 1905. So partition of Bengal is a very important event. This we will discuss when we do even Indian national movement, where we will discuss national, what is that? Swadeshi Andolan we will discuss, Swadeshi movement we will discuss. There we will discuss about partition of Bengal also. So when I talk about partition of Bengal, who was the viceroy? It was Lord Curzon. Lord Curzon. Okay. Lord Curzon was the viceroy of India. Lord Curzon was the viceroy of India. Okay. Partition of Bengal took place. Okay. Partition of Bengal took place. This I will explain when you talk about Indian national movement. Next, in response to partition of Bengal, there was Swadeshi movement, and also Muslim League was also formed in 1906. Okay. Muslim League was formed in 1906. Okay. In Dhaka, that is Dhaka, capital of Bangladesh. That time it was called as what? That time it was called as Dhaka. Okay. It was formed by Aga Ali Khan. Most people will think it as Muhammad Ali Jinnah. It is not the correct answer. It is formed by Aga Ali Khan. Okay. Muslim League was formed by Aga Ali Khan in 1906 in Dhaka. Clear? Next thing what we have is Home Rule League. Okay. Home Rule League means, home means self rule. We will rule our country by ourselves. Home Rule League, that is a group of people started forming a league of their own, that is called as Home Rule League. Okay. There are two Home Rule Leagues. Okay. But the objective was the same. They operated in different regions. Home Rule League was under Tilak and also Annie Besant. Was it Annie Besant? There was Home Rule League that was between Tilak and also Annie Besant. Then later we have Lucknow Pact. This Lucknow Pact and Shimla Bill, everything we will discuss when we go to Indian national movement. There I will discuss each of these events very importantly, and I will tell you in a brief way. Okay. Lucknow Pact was also happening between when the Viceroy was deferring to Lord Linlithgow. Next we have Jallianwala Bagh massacre, that is 1919. Okay. An unfortunate and unwanted event that took place in Jallianwala Bagh, that is in Punjab. Okay. Next thing is non-cooperation movement. Okay. There was Chauri Chaura incident, I told you. Okay. This because of this Gandhiji called off the non-cooperation movement, and later Swaraj Party was formed, that is between Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das. Okay. Next we have, later we have in 1930s we have civil disobedience movement. Okay. Civil disobedience movement. Next, separate electorates was demanded by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay. For separate communities, certain communities, but this was not okay for Gandhiji, because he felt that separate electorates meant if it is there is separate electorates, there will be division of society, and this will make it easy for the British rule. So he was against that, and he went to Erawadi jail, that is there he went in that jail he was there, he went to fast unto death, that is fasting unto death, that is until today you will go for fasting. So because of this, B.R. Ambedkar got to know, he went to the jail and he made sure that there is no need for separate electorates, there was reserved electorates that was provided. Okay. In our electorates itself, you reserve certain seats for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, that is what was decided. So that is the meaning of Pune Pact. Okay. Then there was something called Round Table Conference, that is, okay, Round Table Conference that took place. Round Table Conference that took place for the discussion about how the rule in India should take place. Okay. Round Table Conference took place. Okay. 3 Round Table Conference took place. Gandhiji attended only 1 Round Table Conference, that is only 2nd Round Table Conference. Who participated? Mahatma Gandhiji. Then later there was Quit India movement. This and all I have told briefly now, but when we discuss Indian national movement, each of it we will understand with more better way. Okay. In a more better way, and also all the significant events that we will learn. Now this is about Lord deferring to Lord Linlithgow, that is 1944. Okay. Next what do you have? So if I talk about Lord Wavell to Lord, that is Rajagopalachari. There is no Lord for Rajagopalachari, he is an Indian. So Lord Wavell, that is after 1944 it was Linlithgow. Okay. Linlithgow was the longest ruling viceroy of India. If they ask longest ruling viceroy or governor general, if they ask, it is who? Linlithgow. Next it is Lord Wavell. Okay. Lord Wavell to Rajagopalachari. Okay. Lord Wavell, under him only, no, we got cabinet mission plan. Okay. Under Lord Wavell we had cabinet mission plan. So Lord Wavell to Rajagopalachari, Wavell plan and also cabinet mission plan. Wavell plan I will explain, I will go to when we talk about Indian national movement, that is third phase. Cabinet mission, this was the mission that made Constituent Assembly, under which it was successful. Next it is interim government. Until the constitution is formed, we should have some temporary government, that is the meaning of interim government. Next we have direct action day. Direct action day, what is it? Who called for a direct action day? These things we will understand. Next we have Mountbatten plan. Mountbatten plan, it is for partition of India. Mountbatten plan, it is also called as 3rd June plan 1947. He is the person who drafted how the partition should take place. Okay, he was the person who encouraged how partition should take place, Lord Mountbatten. And Indian Independence Act of 18 July 1947. Indian Independence Act, it said that how the power should be transferred from Indians to, how the power should be transferred to Indians by the British. How the, or you can understand how the power should be transferred by the British to the Indians. This was told by what? Indian Independence Act when it was passed July 1947. Okay, July 1947. Okay, but June 1947, what do we have? It is Mountbatten plan. Okay, they can ask the chronology, which are arrange the following in the descending order of their chronology. Okay, or ascending order. First it is what? First it is Mountbatten plan, then it is Indian Independence Act. Okay, next C. Rajagopalachari. Okay, he was the last Governor General of India, or last Viceroy, or last Governor General of India is who? It is C. Rajagopalachari, post abolished post constitution. That is, till then we had what? Governor General of India or Viceroy of India. He was what? Last person was C. Rajagopalachari. Okay, if Governor General we had, okay, or Viceroy that we had, but after the constitution this post was abolished and it was made what? President of India. Okay, this post itself was abolished. Okay, these are journey. Okay, when we talk about how the journey from Governor of Bengal to Governor General of Bengal, Governor General of India and Viceroy of India, and all the important events that took place under the governors, very important governors, Governor Generals of Bengal, Governor Generals of India and Viceroys of India. Okay, these are the things we learnt. Okay, so based on this, let us solve some questions. So based on this, let us solve some questions. By which of the following acts was the Governor General of Bengal designated the Governor General of India? It is Charter Act of 1833. Okay, I told you, Charter Act of 1833. Okay, next when we talk about who was the first Governor of Bengal? Warren Hastings. Warren Hastings. Which act designated the Governor of Bengal as the Governor General of India? Same, again it is 1833. Which Governor General introduced the permanent settlement in Bengal? It is Cornwallis. Lord Cornwallis, Cornwallis Code and also permanent settlement in Bengal. Next, who abolished the practice of sati? William Bentinck. So Lord William Bentinck. He was the first Governor General of India. Which Viceroy transferred the capital from Calcutta to Delhi? Calcutta to Delhi, who sent it? Lord? It is Lord Hardinge. Okay, this you remember. Lord Hardinge to this you can check. Okay, it is Lord Hardinge to transfer to this one. Next, which Governor General introduced subsidiary alliance? Subsidiary alliance, Lord Wellesley. Lord Wellesley, subsidiary alliance system, that is standing army will be there. All these things we learnt. Okay, next. During whose tenure was the Indian National Congress founded? Okay, it was Lord Dufferin. Okay, if they ask whose tenure was it was formed, it is Lord Dufferin. Okay, Lord Dufferin. Huh? No, not Lord Dufferin. Let us have a look at it. It's not Lord Dufferin, it is Lord Lytton. Lord Lytton. Okay, just have a look at it. Lord Lytton. Okay, Lord Dufferin comes even later. Okay, Dufferin to Linlithgow we learnt. Correct? Now, even later he comes. Now we talk about this one. Who was the last Governor General of Independent India? It is C. Rajagopalachari. Which Viceroy signed the Gandhi-Irwin Pact? Gandhi-Irwin Pact was signed by whom? The word itself says Lord Irwin. Which Viceroy signed the Gandhi-Irwin Pact? Here Irwin is the Viceroy, that Viceroy is Lord Irwin. Okay. Okay, why it was passed? To end the civil disobedience movement. Okay. Next, the Simon Commission was appointed during the tenure of whom? The Simon Commission was appointed during the tenure of whom? It was appointed during the tenure of whom? It is Lord Irwin. Okay, Simon Commission was appointed during the tenure of whom? It is Lord Irving. Okay, clear? If any confusion or anything is there, you can put it in the comment section. Clear? So this is it about Governor Generals and Viceroy. It's a very dry topic, but certain topics are very important so that you remember, because certain top points which are repeatedly told, they are important. Apart from that, several other Governor Generals and Viceroys are there, they are not important for us. That's why we have not discussed about them. Those things which we have discussed, that is more than enough for you, for an examination point of view. Please revise it multiple times, that's enough. Alright, I will wind up now. Let's meet in the tomorrow session with another very important topic. Okay, we will start with social religious reform movements. That will take 2 sessions. After that, we will be doing 1857 revolt. All right, I'll wind up now. Thank you. Take care.